Senator Roberts, you have the call.
Thank you, Chair. General Campbell, initially you said you were unfamiliar with the question or notice. Then one of your staff handed you the question and notice this morning. Then you had lunch, presumably you chatted. Then presumably, well, I concluded that you were saying there's not a single person in this building right now at the time in the waiting rooms that can answer whether there was a single vessel on the Talisman Saber 23 photo shoot, maritime photo shoot on the 29th of July when the other vessels in the area were searching for the downed Taipan. I've already asked this 4 months ago, and while I have a response, I still do not have an answer. Yet you did not answer it on notice already. Now you want to take it on notice again. I wonder where the Chief of the Navy was. Could he explain? Could he have been brought to the table? Now, this is a question about Navy vessels. I'm wondering if there's no one in this room or in the waiting rooms who could have answered that question. So what we've done during the break, I'd like to table these documents, Chair.
I'm going to look at it first, but...
The United States Navy has taken a photo, and it's dated at the 29th of July. It's an obvious photo shoot of the Talisman Saber fleet, and in it they say the American ships are sailing in formation with the Royal Australian Navy Canberra-class landing helicopter dock ship HMAS Canberra as part of Talisman Saber, a photo shoot.
I don't know.
So I'll wait until you get the photo.
Now, Senator, we're just going to circulate for information only because we need to be able to verify the photo. But there's no other. I know there's other information there, but we need to be able to verify before we actually agree to table it. But for the benefit of the witnesses, I'll agree for it to be circulated as information only at this stage.
That's okay.
Thanks.
Thank you.
And as I said earlier in my opening statement, it would be great if senators could send us an email with an electronic copy just so that we can ensure the Secretariat can do what they can do in a more efficient manner.
I'm sure they'll be watching.
I'm sure they've got other things on as well too, but anyway. Who are you directing your question?
So, Senator, we have
Senator?
the photographs.
Thanks.
Your question, Senator.
The question is, there are several questions. First of all, this shows an Australian vessel at the photo shoot on the 29th, and it wasn't searching for the wreckage or the bodies from the downed Taipan. Why is that the case?
Senator, I'll let the Chief of Navy explain in more detail, but you'll see this photograph, senators will see this photograph out in open water, in an extended area. There are some ships in the Australian fleet, and indeed in the US and international partner fleet, not suited to the work required in confined waters and with variable depths to deal with searching for a lost helicopter and crew. So there's a distinction here between what is suitable and hence applied to the search and what is not suitable and not considered for the search. I'll turn to the Chief of Navy if he would wish to speak further.
Senator Vice Admiral Mark Hammond, Chief of Navy. CDF has laid it out precisely, I feel. That large array of ships in the photograph is in open water, some distance from land. It is routine to mark the beginning or the end of a large naval exercise with a group photograph. You'll see there are aircraft carriers in there of the United States Navy, multiple vessels. There are Australian ships that are not in that photograph because they were engaged in the search and rescue effort in confined waters inside the Whitsunday Islands. And I submit that had all of those ships been in that search area, we would have had a problem. There just isn't enough sea room. The focus was on conducting a surface search initially for survivors, as I understand it, and for signs of wreckage. There were civilian craft involved. There were aircraft, rotary wing and fixed wing. and there was no shortage of assets for that search, that very, very tragic incident.
Thank you. I can't... Hammond-Style, is it? The name?
Sorry, Senator
Hammond.
Vice Admiral Hammond, Chief of Navy.
Hammond, sorry. Thank you for your explanation. I understand your explanation. I'll read you the two responses we got to questions on notice when I was specifically asking about a schedule of ships that are available, boats that are available. The answer was, during exercise Talisman Saber 23, 2 maritime photographic activities were held on the 22nd and 29th July 2023. These activities included vessels participating in the exercise from Australia, the United States, Japan and the Republic of Korea. Nowhere did it give the explanation you just gave. Nowhere.
Senator, as the Chief of Navy, I'm not involved in the conduct of the Chief of Joint Operations. I suspect that that request did not come to me.
No, I'm not saying it did. I'm saying it came from the Defence, and the Defence was very guarded in what they said. We were sincere, and we are sincere, in pursuing this issue. I got another answer to question number 23. There were 6 Royal Australian Navy warships in the area of operations on the night of the incident. Defence does not comment on the operational tasking of its assets. When we've seen what we've seen with the Taipans and been horrified with the loss of life from those Taipans, and then we see the potential that there's a nice photo shoot that we should be on, we have a duty to ask those questions. And we didn't get the damn answers. We were led astray. It was suppressed. What you said makes sense to me. You're not going to have a US aircraft carrier ploughing around in the Whitsundays looking for a vessel. I get that, looking for a helicopter. You had one boat, at least, out in open waters. I get it. Why couldn't we have been told that? What is Defence repeatedly trying to hide? We've seen issue after issue that Defence seems sensitive about.
Senator, I understand your frustration. I'm not in a position to answer why there was not a more fulsome response. I stand by my testimony. The resources available that had the necessary capabilities were applied at speed, is my understanding. The minute the accident was known, which was at night, the night of the accident, I don't recall being asked for comment in response to your inquiries.
Thank you. So I'll say it again. I accept your testimony, but we'll be putting further questions on notice about this issue. And Chair, I just want to draw to the committee's attention that there seem to be so many things that this Chief of Defence Forces is either not open about or hiding.
Well, look, I think...
Senator and Chair, Senator. Perhaps, yeah. I wonder if it is necessary to make general ad hominem attacks on the officials before the committee. Officials are here to answer questions about the budget. Officials, I think you have observed this morning, are willing to speak, as they have done now, when asked questions about particular matters. I am not sure that it assists anyone to make broad and general accusations which are not substantiated against individuals in the room. I'm not sure that it is helping the Senate in its work.
It's a fact that there are many issues that have not been talked about openly. It's a fact that Senator Shoebridge, Senator Lambie, myself and other senators have raised serious issues and we don't seem to be getting the answers. Minister, and you should have been at least doing a PII when you didn't. So why I put the
Senator
same question
Roberts,
to you. There seems to be something that the Defence Department runs over the top of you.
If you do have questions, please put them to us, to the officials.
I'm
and to
okay, we will do so.
Call along.
And by the way, General Campbell, it's Mr. Hammond, it's not just my frustration. It's my deep sadness at the loss of life that seems to have been unnecessarily lost in those Taipans.
And so, I don't think anyone would be disputing that. I think we're all very sad about what's happened. But, you know,
borders on anger, though, when it could have been avoided.
Let's just focus on asking the officials questions.